Anthony Edwards is a player who has proven he's the future of the Minnesota Timberwolves. He's gotten better every year since entering the NBA. He made his first All-Star team this past season in year 3. He's a player with a laundry list of things you just can't teach. He's truly a special talent. One of the most impressive young guards I've ever seen. I think he's in for a breakout season, similar to the one we saw from SGA this past year. I think Ant has potential to be one of the most terrifying players in the NBA to go against, which is what I want to talk about in this video. But quickly before we go any further, if you're new and like basketball, I would really appreciate if you would like, subscribe, and hit notification bell to be notified whenever I release a video. I make videos about basketball all the time, and liking and subscribing are the two best ways you can help me out in the YouTube algorithm. And also reach my goal of 10,000 subscribers by the end of the year. Let's try and get 100 likes on this video so YouTube will recommend it to others. Anyways, let's talk about Anthony Edwards. Anthony Edwards is the most physically gifted one-and-done guard wing we have seen in recent memory. 6'4", 224 pounds with a 6'9" wingspan, and he's a freak athlete. Unreal vertical explosion and range, one of the strongest guards in the NBA. He's quick, he's fast, he has it all as an athlete. His physical and athletic profile is very similar to that of prime Dwayne Wade in terms of physicality and explosiveness, in my opinion. And while I do think it would be a tall task for him to live up to Dwayne Wade level heights, because Wade is a top 3 shooting guard ever, and his peak is one I would argue as one of the 10 best we've seen in NBA history. I mean, he won a title and had one of the greatest finals performances ever at 24 years old. But at the same time, I don't think it's unreasonable to believe that is the best possible outcome for Anthony Edwards. It's no guarantee that will happen by any means. I'm not saying that Edwards would be a letdown or disappointment if he doesn't reach those heights, because even if he doesn't reach them, he's going to be great regardless. But when you look at Anthony Edwards, the sky is truly the limit when you have this kind of talent, and I don't think you can rule out the possibility of him reaching those kind of heights. Edwards has some of the most encouraging linear improvement I've seen from a young player. His points per game have gone up every season, his rebounds per game have gone up every season, his assists per game have gone up every season, his free throw attempts have gone up every season, his field goal percentage has gone up every season, his 3-point percentage has gone up every season, his effective field goal percentage has gone up every season, his true shooting percentage has gone up every season, his PER has gone up every season. So not only is he getting more productive, he's also getting more efficient, and I can't stress enough how encouraging that is, because it is common to see young players take a dip in their efficiency with more responsibility. Now, it eventually does get back up for the guys that become stars, but you'll see when they adjust to more field goal attempts, more opportunities, the numbers efficiency-wise do go down. But that's not the case with Anthony Edwards. In fact, it's getting better, and that's incredibly encouraging. To put into perspective just how special Anthony Edwards has been in his young NBA career, here's the list of players to average at least 24 points per game, 5 rebounds per game, and 4 assists per game in a season before turning 22 years old. Michael Jordan, Tracy McGrady, LeBron James, Luka Doncic, and Anthony Edwards. Every other player listed here has multiple first-team All-NBA selections. And while it is amazing for Edwards to be in such elite company at such a young age, it also makes sense that he is in this kind of company, because he has All-NBA first-team type potential. Edwards' game is based around his athleticism and physicality. He's simply bigger, stronger, and faster than everyone else. Uses that first step, speed, and strength to get to the rim at will when he wants to. 63.9% on 6.9 attempts per game in the restricted area. His foul drawing has gotten better as well, although I would say that he still has one of the worst whistles in the NBA. There really aren't many players that can stop him as a slasher. He can get better in terms of control, but he's still super young, and I do think he's shown improvement in that area. But I do have to bring that up because I'm not saying he's perfect as a slasher, but based off just his physical tools and athleticism, he's an absolute monster in this regard. He just does things you can't teach. I'm confident he will continue to get better as a slasher. He's shown me nothing to think otherwise, and as he does, it will open up his game to make him even more unstoppable. I've also been very encouraged by Edwards' progression as a three-point shooter. He's always had a good shooting form. In fact, I would say among players of his archetype, he has one of the better shooting forms in the league. He's also always had the confidence as a shooter, but the efficiency is finally catching up to his mechanics and confidence. 29.4% on 7.7 attempts per game as a freshman in college, 32.9% on 7.2 attempts per game as a rookie, 35.7% on 8 attempts per game in year 2, and this past season, 36.9% on 7.3 attempts per game. So he's a high volume 3-point shooter that has shown linear improvement in that area, to the point he's slightly above the league average over his past 2 NBA seasons on good volume. He has a versatile shot diet. 2.5 of his attempts are catch and shoot looks this past season, while 4.6 of his attempts were pull-up jumpers. So he's capable off the catch and can create off the bounce. 3-point shooting can expand your game, and when you have the slashing ability, rim pressure upside, and creation ability of Edwards, being a good 3-point shooter can make you hard to guard, which is why he developed into an all-star at such a young age. Now, Edwards is a very good shot creator who's comfortable taking shots against tough defense. 42.6% on 1.2 attempts per game when a defender is between 0 to 2 feet of him, which is considered very tight defense. 49% on 8.7 attempts per game when a defender is between 2 to 4 feet of him, which is considered tight defense. Oddly enough, he's more efficient when the defense is tight compared to when he's open. 43.8% on 9.6 attempts when open, 47.5% on 9.9 attempts when he's playing against tight defense. It's a bit of a J.R. Smith complex to an extent. Now, how these numbers translate to tape, it's a lot to do with his physicality. He uses his physical tools to his advantage to overpower defenders on attempts. I think his handle is good. I don't think it's a great handle. I think when you combine his good handle with his athleticism, it makes him a great shot creator, with the athleticism being what brings the most value to his shot creation, rather than the handle bringing the most value. Now, I will say on tape, he doesn't have the greatest handle counters. He does have counters. I'm not saying he doesn't have counters. They are evident on tape where he does use a counter to create an open look. But it is noticeable on tape he doesn't quite have the counters we see from other great shot creators like Trae Young, Damian Lillard, or Luka Doncic. Now, with that being said, his one legit elite counter of "I'm bigger, stronger, quicker, and faster than you" is enough to make him a great shot creator right now. But I do think in order to reach his full potential as a scorer, developing other counters to an elite level will be necessary. He's an elite scorer right now. He's a great shot creator right now. I'm not saying he isn't. However, if he develops his counters to their fullest potential, he is going to be in best scorer in the league conversations, which he's close to being in right now without an array of fully developed counters. So if he does develop them, look out. Edwards has also made strides as a passer. His assists per game numbers have gone up each season. The vision has seen improvement. The willingness to pass has seen improvement as well. I will say this, I never have gotten the vibe of a player who is selfish or is me-oriented when I watch his tape. And that's something that isn't just in the NBA. That's something that dates back to his days in high school. And even in high school, when he was forced to carry the offense as a scorer, I never got that vibe that he was a selfish, me-oriented player. But he is a scorer at heart. That's how he's wired in terms of taking over games. but I think I've seen enough of him as a passer to think he can be a 4 to 6 assists per game player, which is fine because of how much value he brings as a scorer. Anthony Edwards is a player that I think has superstar upside, and for those who have been subscribed for a while now, you guys know I don't say things like that lightly. I look at his unteachable athletic and physical tools. I look at his skill as a player, skill that still has room to grow even though he's really good right now. I look at the linear improvement he's made every year in the NBA so far. I look at his wiring as a player. You can tell he wants to be the best. And all the signs of a future superstar are in place. He plays better in the playoffs. He averages 28.1 points per game in his young playoff career, which is what you want to see from a future superstar. A guy that elevates his game in high-stakes situations. I know they haven't won a playoff series yet. He's not the reason they haven't won a playoff series yet by any stretch of the imagination. He very well could be the best two-guard in the NBA within a few years. Maybe as early as this upcoming season based off the type of season I think he's going to have. He's proven he can play at an all-star level on a playoff team in just his third NBA season at 21 years old. He's a player that is a mismatch for most in the league already. He's too skilled, quick, and fast for guys who can match up with his physicality, and he's too physical for guys who can match up with his speed, quickness, and skill. The list of players who can defend him well is a very small list of elite defenders. And the thing is, it still feels like he's just scratching the surface of his potential, which is terrifying for the rest of the NBA if he puts it all together. And why I feel confident in saying he can be a superstar in this league. He has a chance to be a top 2 scorer and overall player in the NBA. It's no guarantee he will be a superstar. He's going to be good regardless though. He's already an all-star level guy. But at the end of the day, while I do think superstar is not out of the question, only time will tell if he reaches his full potential. However, I am confident if he improves on a few things, he will be a superstar. If he reaches his full potential, he will put up even more absurd numbers. Yes, even more absurd than the numbers that put him in a class with Jordan, LeBron, T-Mac, and Luka for his age. He will be the offensive engine for a contender. And he will have a career that ends with a gold jacket in Springfield, Massachusetts if he gets everything right. And I think there's a good chance he does. Look at what he's done already. But that's the end of this video. If you made it to this point, thank you so much. Again, haven't already, like, subscribe, hit notification bell, notify whenever I release a video. I make videos about basketball all the time, so liking and subscribing are the 2 best ways can help me out in the YouTube algorithm and help more people find my videos. I also would really appreciate if we can get 100 likes on this video so YouTube will recommend it to others. Let me know what you think about Anthony Edwards in the comment section below. With that being said, have a nice day, and I'll see you guys in the next one.